What? Me panic? Now that I have your attention, let's talk about the trip I just got back from. Little jet to New York City to celebrate Angelo Torres. But before I get to celebrating Angelo Torres, I'll talk a little bit about the time that I had. It was kind of a whirlwind visit. I flew out from LA to New York with my good buddy Ian Scott McGregor, and he went down to Brooklyn to stay in his old neighborhood, very near to where Angelo Torres lives. And I went up to the Upper West Side to stay with good friend and the guy behind this program, Clint Morgan. But we'll get to this program more in just a minute, because first, we met our good buddy on Thursday, John Gothold, and his wife Catherine, and we went to Greenwood Cemetery. And founded in 1838, it's a beautiful historical cemetery. A lot to see there, but the number one reason we were there was to visit the grave of Marie Severin. Marie is in Greenwood, and until very recently, she did not have her name on her grave marker. She's buried with her parents, and their names were there, but hers was not. And there was a small but dedicated group of her friends and fans who wanted to see her name on that marker. And you know who you are. It looked like it wasn't going to happen there for a while, but their passion and dedication made it happen. And you know who you are. Thanks for making it happen. We were very happy to visit Marie at Greenwood with her name now on her marker. Then Ian took us for pizza at the best pizza in Brooklyn, he said. Luigi's Pizza since 1973. And it was indeed very, very good. While we were there, Ian noticed this nickel embedded in the asphalt, and he said, hey, it's a Brooklyn nickel, face up, that's good luck. I don't know if you can see there, but me being me, I pried it out of the asphalt, and it's a 1948. So that got us thinking about 1948 in New York City and what was going on there at the time, and the things that were of such great interest to us historically. And so I'll keep this nickel, good luck or not. I think it's pretty darn cool that we found that. Then it was on to a wine shop to get a couple bottles for Mr. Torres, and then on to Angelo's apartment. Small group of us met up with him, and Ian presented him with a wonderful gift of a replica of the Maltese Falcon, Ange's second favorite movie. His first favorite is All About Eve, second favorite, the Maltese Falcon. Ian got him a falcon that's an exact replica of the one in the movie, but I'm sad to say that it's no longer Ange's second favorite movie. So maybe the gift was made a little less meaningful, but I think that it was actually fine with Ian, because Ange said his new second favorite movie is My Dinner with Angelo, which is a short film that Ian put together. So more on that in a minute as well, because when we were at the apartment, I had Ange sign one of my copies of the Big Book. And that meant an awful lot to me, because this book was my discovery of EC. So to have Ange's signature on his legendary band solo EC story was a real thrill for me. Now, while I was there, I also got him to sign a copy of the program book for my little brother Josh, but don't tell him. He doesn't know about it yet. This is a big secret. I'll see him in the next couple days, though, and get him his copy of the program. Then we trekked to a sushi place with Ange, some of the best sushi in the city, if not in the entire world, but it's a big favorite of Angelo's. And while we were there, I want to say thanks to Jason Levine, Mad Super Collector, who knows of my passion for Mad Number 3, and he got me this Swedish translation. So this is a great addition to my, if you've seen some of my other videos, you know my obsession with Mad Number 3, and that I got this little vampire boy tattooed. It's also got a Swedish translation of the Wallace Wood story, The Vampires, and a translation of the notorious William M. Gaines biography. I wonder if it says the same things here, because it was pretty funny and borderline offensive. Thanks, Jason, for that. Great addition to my collection. So after a wonderful dinner, the next morning, Ian and I trekked to 225 Lafayette Street, the site of the old EC offices, and on the way we stopped at Bond number 9 and were astonished to see a men's fragrance called Lafayette Street. Don't know if it smells just like the EC offices, but it smells pretty darn good. Lafayette Street. We thought that was must be a sign since we were on our way to the offices. So that I thought was pretty cool. Then we went to the EC offices and we met up with Steven Ringenberg there. He had just gotten into the city, and of course the first place he wanted to see was the sacred site of the EC office. So we even went inside, chatted with the doorman. It was really cool to be there where so much history had happened. Then it was on to the show. So at the Society of Illustrators, What Me Panic, celebrating Angelo Torres. And I want to say kudos to Clint Morgan for putting this program together. I want to spend a little time on this thing because it really is gorgeous. And I'm going to drop a link in the video description for you to order one of these. If you can't make it to the show, definitely order the program. If you can make it to the show, buy a program in the gift shop. The show runs through September 3rd, so you've still got time to go see this. Just a ton of Angelo Torres art, but I want to pause on the table of contents because as you go down the list of names here, you'll recognize first generation, second generation, third generation. You know, if you're into EC and MAD, you probably know all of the names on this list. It's a virtual who's who of EC and MAD fandom. Some very heartfelt, just wonderful to read essays here about Angelo Torres and what he means to us. The show is called What Me Panic because during the pandemic, Ange did tons of these blank cover panics. Number 6 had no art on the cover, and that was back in the 50s at the height of the comic censorship paranoia. And there's nothing on the cover but a little red asterisk and a note at the bottom that says that this cover is designed to offend nobody. And Ange has made wonderful use of these little red asterisks in his incorporating them into some of the covers. And these have to be seen to be believed. They really are a joy to look at. And this is a very small sampling of what's actually in the show. He did a bunch of these, and they really demonstrate that Ange has not lost his touch at all. If anything, he's better than ever. So the layout and the presentation here, it's excellent. This is not an exhibit catalog in the sense that it has every piece that's in the show. It doesn't. It's mainly about the essays, but there is a ton of art in here and a great sampling of what you can expect to see in the show. I would almost call this, you know, it's a program book, but it's a thick monster. It's got some amazing stuff in it, and it's like a prozine. This will sit very comfortably alongside your newest issues of Squatron. It's wonderful, and it's all Torres. So as you can see, just a lot of great content, a beautiful looking program, and some really heartfelt essays about Angelo Torres from people that worked with him, fans of his, friends of his. The entire Meglin family got together and did a tribute to him. Both of his sons wrote little pieces that are a delight to read. There's a lot to this, and in the back you'll notice documentary film credits. What's that all about? This documentary film, My Dinner with Angelo, is playing on a loop at the museum. It's also on Vimeo and on YouTube, and I will try to drop a link to that as well so you can check that out. But Ian put together that film, did a great job. Rob Reiner curated this exhibit. Clint Morgan again with the program. Just a lot of fun. And if you're anything like me, I bought some extra copies in the museum. So this is the copy I flipped through. This is my straight to Mylar, untouched, unread copy. Maybe you'll want to pick up more than one for yourself as well. But all in all, a wonderful weekend, a great celebration, and I think every day we can continue celebrating Angelo Torres. What do you say? Hoo-ha!